Hi everyone. Welcome. Welcome. It's Mahjong Monday, baby. I didn't time my ad great because I relied on Twitch, so the ad is going for another 30 seconds. But hi everyone. It's been a long month. It's been a very long month. I set it up so allegedly there might be closed captions. I was having some issues with it, so if you see captions, let me know if they're good. They should be like embedded in the stream, so you should be able to turn them on Twitch's side as opposed to not like as a source on OBS. I've been trying to figure that out. That was a disaster. But if you see and use captions, let me know if they suck. I couldn't get the ones that I wanted to work. So we're winging it. So we'll see. Maybe. Maybe. Potentially. But I figured that would be a good use of this little space at the bottom of the screen. Because I usually put like a little text blurb there, but I don't really use it. And I haven't been using it because I've had the Pokemon for Palestine banner there. Speaking of which, I think technically the Thunders is still open. It hasn't been like officially closed. But we've reached the end of Pokemon for Palestine, and I wanted to thank everybody who donated. We did hit our $100 personal fundraising goal. So I'm working on my big projects for the 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 overall goals milestones that I set. But I will probably in the new year play Shadow the Hedgehog and do all missions. So that'll be fun. I am looking forward to that. I think that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be chaotic, but it's gonna be fun. But I'm gonna finish Chrono Trigger first. So here, let me hop into a match while we're talking. But my plan is to finish out Chrono Trigger, and then a dear friend gifted me a copy of In Stars and Time that I've been meaning to play forever, and I've been told will be extremely my shit. So probably that next, and then we'll do Shadow the Hedgehog. But so this Wednesday we're gonna do Chrono Trigger, and then Friday I'll have to see at 231. I'll have to see for Friday because my static is starting back up with, well, it is questionably my old static. It's like about half the same members and half new folks. Um, that's fine. I didn't want to score this hand anyway. But so the static is starting back up. We're gonna start with M5 this Friday. I might take the first session not streamed, but my plan is to, like last time, stream just the gameplay for archival purposes. And I might do a sort of like, because that'll be from 1 to 3 on Wednesdays and Fridays. So I might follow that up with a more traditional stream. Mahjong Monday will be untouched. But I might do a couple hours of raiding on Wednesday, and then take like a quick break to get some fuel in my body, and then come back and do a continuing stream after that. But this is a sort of pilot program for that, so we'll see how it feels. Friday, I'm planning to stream after raid for sure. I don't know if I'm gonna stream the raid itself because that'll be my first time with these new folks, and I'd rather focus on building that poor and stuff without having to worry about managing OBS on the side. But I would like to get back into doing that, because that was... Doing Savage Raiding is some of the most fun I've had playing Final Fantasy. So I'm very excited to give that a spin again. But yeah, so that's sort of the gist of where we're going moving forward. Hi Crab, welcome. Thank you for all your support during the PFP streams. You've been dipping in and hanging out and being in chat. It's just been fantastic. Alright. We don't have Pinfu, but this hand's not bad. We got 36 tiles left on the wall. This is relatively on pace. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to Savage Raiding. That's fine, I didn't need those points. I'm excited to get back to Savage Raiding. I think it's going to be a blast. I want to try and set up the captions. So we'll see if the ones that I set up to be embedded in the Twitch stream are working even remotely. I said this at the beginning of the stream, but I think the ad was still running. I could not get the ones that I wanted to working before stream today, so... Savage Raiding, it terrified me too. The main reason I got into it, to start with, was because I was doing the relic weapons. And I had done all the stuff for the Eureka relic weapons. With the exception of Baldessian Arsenal, which is the very end of the Eureka weapons storyline, which I think is not even required for the relics. But I was there, and I was like, all right, well, let me look into this. And it turns out there's a huge group of people that run Eureka every week. And they have a huge amount of like resources and all sorts of stuff to help you figure out what you need to bring, what, like, all that stuff. And like everyone gets in a Discord call, and they have like people who are old hat at this, who will do call outs and all that stuff. So I was like, all right, let me give it a try. And that was the most fun I'd had at that point of all time. Like playing Final Fantasy, that was the most fun I had had in that game. I was terrified the whole time, but I was having so much fun. And I was like, all right, well, this is like the hardest end of content, or at least when it came out. It was like, you know, there's like 3 pop-ups you have to clear. To even get in. It's like, just so you know, this is really hard, and it's gonna suck. And so I was like, all right, I'm terrified, but let me try it. And so then I was like, well, what else can I do that's like this? Right? And so I started looking into I dipped my toe in with Extremes and Unreals. And then I was like, well, let me see if anyone's doing Savage Raiding, and I found a beginner-friendly static, which then died and has become reborn as my new static. And I just had such a blast with these folks, just hanging out and you know, learning the fight and all that stuff. So it's been, yeah, we'll go for Cheetoy. We'll go for Cheeky Cheetoy. Why not? Started playing at the end of Stormblood, so no one on my server played it at the time. By the time I got to it. Yeah, I feel you there. I just got into Final Fantasy, I want to say 6.2 or 6.3 I started, and then I was like on patch by like 6.4 or 5. But so now with the M5 through 8 are reward unlocked right now. So we're gonna run those, and then hopefully when M9 through 12 come out, we'll move on to those. We cleared M1 and 2. With my static before it fell apart due to scheduling. And we were on M3, but we weren't able to clear it because we just didn't have enough people. So we're jumping ahead to the stuff that everybody's playing, so that if we need to fill, we can fill. But it was terrifying to start, and I'm still like apprehensive. I'm like, oh, I don't know M5. I have to watch the video again. I haven't watched it in a while. But like with the Hector videos, it's now more than ever, there are people who are ready to hold your hand and show you how it's done. And I think that's really beautiful. That's one of the things about Final Fantasy that I really like. Is that the community as a whole is so ready to aid you in getting into new stuff. Waiting for my new computer to get back into it. Yeah, mine can manage FF14 with the new texture stuff with Dontrell. But anything newer than that is not having a good time. I've Frankensteined the components since then, but this computer is the same old girl I built in high school, which was, God, 10 years ago? 11 years ago? So she's been through a lot. She can't quite keep up with the new stuff. So I am due to get a new computer. I mean, in addition to the random crashes and hanging and monitors going black for no reason, she's kept up with me for a long time. So I'll probably keep her around, maybe as a dedicated like OBS machine. If I get a new PC. Oh, Alliance raids are hell. Yeah, I agree with you there. I have a lot of my setting stuff turned down to just declutter the display because it all pops in. Not to mention the DDoSes recently. On top of, like, having to load everything, the DDoSes just make it so that you gotta load it a second time when you get back in. But yeah, she's a trusty old gal, but she's at the end of her time, I think. Unfortunately, I can't really afford a new computer, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do if she kicks the bucket, but I built her back in 2014 and then refurbished her a couple times. Dedicated kitchen computer for T streams. Oh, that's a good idea. I'll probably like, rather than have whatever new machine I get run everything, I will probably have my old machine run OBS, and then I'll just run all my video out into that, and then I can have my new computer. Again, this is all assuming I somehow become able to afford a new computer. Ditch the 1 because it's safe. I mean, this is potential footy 10 because of the 9, but I just don't want to deal in here. But that way I can dedicate all of the power of whatever new machine into maintaining the games. And I have a capture card that I use for consoles anyway, so I should be able to run video out to that. Okay, here we go. Now I got 5, 6, 7, it's a 4, 5. That's something. Hi Xyluxil, welcome. We just started. What is safe? We're just gonna... It's gonna take the safe discards. I was only able to get a new one because I took out a loan against my 401k. Ugh, yeah. I mean, they're pricey. They are certainly pricey these days, especially with GPU scalping and all that stuff. Because that's the thing, is like, I think a lot of the internals of my current computer are alright. But, like, my GPU is falling behind. With Ditch 4.5 Mon? Yeah, I was just worried that I would deal in with 4.5 Mon. Unless they were safe and I just completely overlooked it. We're west or a 6-peen. Yeah, probably start by ditching north or maybe this one. North it is. But yeah, so my GPU is falling behind and I'm gated on what GPUs I can use because of my motherboard. And if I replace the motherboard at that point, I'm functionally building a new computer. And then, as I mentioned on the other day's stream, I'm limited in what I can replace in my computer just because my hands aren't so good anymore. I can't do all the fine motor things that I used to be able to. So I would have to pay someone to build it, and at that point, I may as well buy a new computer, because between cost of components and labor, I'm gonna run out of budget before the point that I would. Right, because I can't, like, cash in my old parts, really. And I'd rather, you know, if replacing parts is going to cost me a couple hundred less than it would be to buy a new PC, I'd rather buy a new PC and have the old one still. But I don't know, I have to balance stuff between, because I can run most of the stuff that I want to, right? Like, the only stuff that I really struggle with is newer games, and I'm not buying those anyway because they're expensive. Plus, I have consoles and stuff, right, that I can run through my capture card, so I don't really need to upgrade my PC. You know, I'm not trying to play Monster Hunter Wilds with ray tracing or whatever. So, I'm probably going to try and prioritize. I'd like to try and start saving money for a new model. A new ref and a new model. Because I have my ref, my personal ref that I made, which I'm proud of because I made it, and I don't consider myself like an artist. We could go for Toy Toy or Cheat Toy here. It's early enough. What's your site that lets you pick the parts and they build it for you? Yeah, stuff like Newegg and stuff like that, where you can like essentially have like a build thing, and then if you want, pay them to assemble it before they ship it to you, is really nice. When I was first building my PC in 2014, I did the Newegg thing, but then I assembled it myself, and I busted some of the parts because it was my first construction. It was my first build, and luckily they were parts that were not expensive. GPUs used to be fucking dirt cheap, or near enough. And now they're $800 a piece. Yeah, there's no shame in having someone build it for you. It's delicate work. But yeah, it's mainly what I want to do is like keep doing what I want, you know, what I am doing, for which I don't really need a new PC. It would be nice because a new PC would be more stable than my current PC. That sucks. Nothing you can do about that. Patsumo. Hanemon 2. But so I'd rather save my money and try and get a new model and a new ref, because I have some artists in mind that I really like, and I'd love to get a custom model instead of using a customizable prefab. Which I love my current model, but I'd love for it to be more reflective of me and my style and stuff. Yeah, I'm with you on the electrical bad luck. I used to do like freelance IT, and so I got in the guts of many a computer and learned my lesson. I learned my lesson on my own stuff before messing with other people's stuff, but yeah, one stray bit of static electricity can really fuck you. But like, I just can't get in between all the components and plug in the little cables and stuff anymore, or like put enough pressure on the little pressure fit like snap cables. I just can't do it with my fingers. My joints in my hand are too stiff. I used to be able to get all in there, but I just can't do it anymore. Kind of set on pairs. Let's get rid of the 8-9 and we have the pair 1-2. I don't know if it's the best call. Probably could have just ditched the 2, but yeah, so I might do a donathon or something to try and raise money for that. Because there are some cool artists that I would love to commission. But I'm gonna take a break from fundraising, considering we just finished Pokemon for Palestine. Gotten 2 electrical engineers to throw my laptop cords back to me and tell me I'm cursed. Yeah. That's the thing, is people think that electrical engineers or, you know, tech people are like very rational and straightforward, and that's not the case at all. We are incredibly superstitious. It's like the thing where like smart tech enjoyers are like, I want every appliance in my home to be smart, and it's like the smartest appliance in my house is a printer, and I keep a gun next to it, so and if it makes one wrong move, I'll fucking kill it. We absolutely killed the fucking goal. That's crazy that we raised like $5,500 or something. I remember at the very start, I was talking with Poppy about setting fundraising goals, right? And I was like, all right, I'm gonna set mine at like 100, because I feel like if I raise 100, I will feel very good about myself. And if I don't raise 100, then I'll be like, okay, cool. But I raised some. 56.79. God damn. I probably should have gone for Toy Toy or something 20 tiles ago. But I was like, you know, maybe I'll set it at like 100, because I don't want to be too, like, I can always move it up if I need to, you know, and 100 ended up being a good starting point for me, or a good total in general, because that's basically what I hit at the end. And Poppy was like, "Yeah, I was thinking about setting it at 1,000 because I feel like I can probably hit that, or maybe 2,000." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She was like, "I was like, you should go a little under because like you can always bump your goal up if you do." And then we saw by the end how Poppy absolutely fucking obliterated the fundraising goal. It's just like I didn't know the fucking force I was dealing with when I had that conversation. It was it was very funny to watch Politichu and Poppy battle it at the end to see who could be the best fundraiser. Damn, I should have held myself. Just stuck to my guns. Nice. Yeah, I very much was like, I want to set my sights very low so that if I exceed my goal, then I'm like feeling super cool. Because I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm just a small streamer. I don't know if I can contribute all that much. And then I got like 140 in the end. Thanks to a few people, but in the end, one particularly generous friend who dropped a hundo. But yeah, I will say, I don't know if y'all follow my Blue Sky, you will know the trials and tribulations I've had with Mahjong recently. I almost scored a counted Yakuman the other day, and then disaster struck when somebody else scored a fucking Baimon on me. It's like I could have had a Sun Baimon or a counted Yakuman with this hand. And then I had a dream that I scored a 13 orphans, and then I woke up as the score was racking up, which was painful. And then I was playing a game. I don't think I even posted about this. I was playing a game, and fucking I got a 13 orphans scored on me. I felt like a ding. It was a sumo actually, so I didn't like immediately lose, but Mahjong rules. It's a good game. FF14 in the last like 4 weeks. I've been mostly just logging on and doing Wondrous Tales because I've been like busy with stream and then health issues and stuff. So I haven't done a ton recently. We were originally supposed to do Necron last Friday, with the static to like sort of get our vibes set. But I had my PFP stream, so we were finishing up the Soul Link, so I couldn't make it, and then somebody else couldn't make it. So they were just like, all right, we'll just skip to next Friday. So this Friday, hopefully, we're gonna get into M5. But otherwise, we haven't started with the new static just yet. And I haven't been doing much in Final Fantasy other than logging in, doing my Wondrous Tales, and doing the like special milestone rewards for what's it called? The Tombstone. Mogpendium, yeah. Okay, well there's all the 5s, which is not ideal. Because I have 2 pairs that would benefit from 5s. Yeah, and then doing housing, because I'm still in the market for a medium. And I've been lucky enough that every week there has been a medium in Shirogane to bid on. Going with the safe bets. I really don't want to deal in here, because if I maintain and I don't deal in 19 left, we just want to get on 10 pie, really. Is that a bad move? No. Okay, we're good. Ah, damn it. I'm gonna be in third. I could have swung a second there. Not a good second, but... Oh, wait, of course, it's East 4. We keep going. Pair green I like. I like that 8. Let's get rid of the 1, 2. But yeah, I've been lucky enough that every week there has been a medium and Shirogane to bid on. I just haven't been lucky enough to get one. But I haven't been doing like the Unreals or anything recently. Atsunomi isn't big enough to swing second. Yeah, I have to get something here. Like some Dora would be nice. Some Dora. Ah. But yeah, I haven't been up to much in FF14. Hopefully, I mean, that will change because I'm going to be doing rating, but... I'm really excited. M5 looks really fun. So I'm excited to get into it. Yeah, I know M5 is like way behind where everybody else is at. I think when 9 through 12 come out, we're just gonna jump ahead. Like I would like to finish second tier. Maybe we'll come back and do it at some point, but again. The music is really good. Trying out the tier and party finder. Nice. Potential for 3 concealed triples. Static complains it's not Scream. Yeah, well, yeah, but it's also like... That's like people saying, I don't like this cake, it isn't gilded. Where's the gold leaf? It's like all the people who are like, oh yeah, Stormblood is trash. And it's like, no, it's just between Heavensward and Shadowbringers. Yeah, the one for Sugar Ride's really good. I've run the normal a couple times for Wondrous Tales recently, and it's good. I have to finish my Wondrous Tale. I'm still on like last week's book. I gotta finish that soon. I mean, I have to finish it today. Tomorrow it gets killed. But yeah, I've just been running Wondrous Tales as warrior to work towards the mount. I only lose 11 rank points. It's not the worst. Not great, but it's not the worst. Dancing Runes fight is really silly. One of the things that I really appreciate about Dawntrail's, like... I mean, just Dawntrail broadly, all the battle content in Dawntrail, is that, like, they did not pull punches mechanically. Like, even in the normals and in the, like, dungeons and stuff, the boss fights feel very mechanically interesting. Like, it feels... There's, like, shit... There's stuff to do, right? It's not just, like, your standard, you know, mitt the raid wide, hit enemy, move out of the AoE, hit enemy. Like, there's interesting stuff. You have to, like, pay attention to your surroundings. You know, not as much as, like, a Savage. But, like, it's interesting. It's actually interesting. Which I really, really like. Sugar Riot is gonna be hell, I'm sure. Because I'm gonna be probably off-tanking. And I know the Yan is everybody's favorite ad. So, we'll see where that goes. 1, 2, 3 I like. So, I'm excited. I'm really excited. I had a blast with M1 and 2. And I was enjoying M3 before we, like, fell apart scheduling-wise. People are bad at the Disco Frogs in normal. Yeah. The Disco Frogs are really fun. I love that it gives you, like, a big lineup of a bunch of AoEs that you have to do in order, and they're all telegraphed by the frogs instead of, like, what if we put a bunch of big lines on the floor? I like big lines on the floor sometimes, but it's... I hope you like 40% of your health every auto attack unmitted. That's fun. Sounds like a great time to use Blackest Night. Although I guess I can only use that for one. But I can mint the rest. 2 of them in your face and you need to survive 3 minutes, have fun. Lovely. I'm gonna have a blast. Like, I have to get my muscle memory back for my rotation. I didn't even consider that. Because I haven't been doing, like, Dark Knight high-end content for a while, because I've just been doing low-end content on Warrior. But Dark Knight is absolutely my preferred tank. I'm gonna give that a shot. Maybe I'll do my Unreals this week before Friday. I could do one tonight, actually. Love when people Dorito themselves. Yeah, I love markers. Markers are great. They're my favorite. I'll hold this out just for now. In case I draw a pair of it. Well, that would have been nice with my 8. I feel that. I just, like, I really, really enjoy having, reference points. That, and I typically have a lot of the, like, character-related UI. Like, I have people's names turned off a lot of the time. So having people marked as, like, Healer 1, Healer 2 is really helpful for me. Just because I feel like with all the names it gets cluttered. I mean, I have people's like names on, but I have a bunch of stuff shortened. And unfortunately, there are multiple people in my static with the same initials, which is not super great. Just for my own brain. Yeah, brave move here from Gamicha. If we fucking sweep here, I would be so glad. Could have ditched the 6-peen instead. Probably would have been better. Or the red dragon. Now I should definitely ditch red because it's on board, but... But yeah, that counted Yakuman that I had. I was like, I knew it was a really, really high scoring hand, but I didn't like I hadn't counted it out. I was like, oh, this would have been a at least a Baimon. And then I like went back in the log, looked at it, and like opened up a Ricci calculator. It was like, oh, if I had drawn of my two weights, if I had drawn Dora, it would have been counted Yakuman. If I had drawn non-Dora, it would have been Sanbaimon. So that really could have been my second Yakuman of all time. Like, that could have been so awesome. If only I had scored it. To be fair, if I had scored it, it would have been the Sanbaimon version, because the person who did score had the other two Dora. Okay. We have no info on whether 6-peen is safe. It wasn't. I'm glad I didn't discard it. I will take that first. Gladly. We got 14 minutes till the ad. I got snoozes. We can run another match before I take my break. Can absolutely run another match. That was a fast one. I have because I've been playing Amatsuki. I've been doing a little bit of Ricci on there. Just because it counts towards the like season. You have to play a certain number of ranked matches. And they can go faster than the Sichuan matches, which is what I mostly use Amatsuki for. But it actually takes a while for me to queue into a Sichuan match on Amatsuki, because I'm in the top 500 players, I think, this season in terms of rank. So like actually matching with somebody takes like 3 minutes. At least at the times when I'm on. So I'm just trying to get into a match, and I have to sit there for a while. So I've started playing Ricci on there just because it only takes, 20 seconds to get into a match. Because my Ricci rank is so low, because I don't play Ricci on there. And I'm also not very good at it, but... we can have Sanshoku on 1, 2, 3. That could be fun. I like Sanshoku. And then, I think I mentioned this... Have I mentioned this on stream? I might not have. It's still, like, very, very early days. But I'm working with some folks in the Archipelago server to plan out and then eventually implement a Riichi Mahjong for Archipelago. And we're probably going to use Dirtbag Mahjong, which I still need to buy so that I can like look more deeply in it. I played the demo, but just because it has mechanics for skipping turns, for like weird abilities, so that we could like integrate a lot more of the like weird Archipelago stuff. But I'm excited about that because that shit rules. I love Archipelago, and I've wanted Mahjong for Archipelago for so fucking long. And so because it has like a story, it has like a campaign mode, so you play through a bunch of different themed chapters and matches and stuff, so. Sakata Gintoki. Oh yeah, they did a Gintama collab recently. I don't go there. I don't go to Gintama. But they just recently did a Gintama collab. So I don't know, Xyluxo, if you play Riichi City, but I've heard conflicting things about whether it is hornier or less horny than Mahjong Soul. Because some I'm like, hey, I like Mahjong Soul, but I feel like some of the fan service stuff is like kind of weird and like a little gross because some of the characters are younger, and it's like I don't like that. And people are like, well, Riichi City doesn't have that, and then like I'll see a screenshot of Riichi City, it's just some woman's feet like right up next to the camera, and I'm like, okay, what is it? Is Riichi City more or less horny? So far, I know Amatsuki, as far as I can tell, is the least horny among the three of them. The people in the local club unanimously think Riichi City's worse. Okay. Excuse me. Goodness. Got a frog in my throat. But, I also, like... Amatsuki is early days. So they have, like, the booba outfits, but they don't have any of the, like, weird sexualized children. So that's... I can't believe I'm saying it. That's something. But Amatsuki is, like, still technically early release or whatever. I think they have the same client as well in China, which probably helps. Because I know China is much more strict about their the way that games can operate and the kind of media that games can promote. So I think the fact that it's the same client functionally, and the majority of their user base is in China. So I like the character designs there, but I'm not about to... I feel like they're weirdly... Again, this contradicts what I was saying about them having most of their user base in China. Their monetization seems more predatory than stuff like Mahjong Soul. Like, they have a pity system, but I feel like the fortune charm is like my ideal level of paying money to play a gacha. It's like I functionally just have this could 40-10 me, but I'm mostly focusing on not dealing in. But like, yeah, they have a pity system, but like I love having functionally a subscription to Mahjong Soul, where I just pay $5 every month and it gives me the premium currency, as opposed to like buying individual microtransactions. China's default level of acceptable abuse from gacha is much higher. Interesting. I thought it was the opposite, because I know a lot of reasons why gachas have like both pity systems and like have to show you the odds are because of Chinese legislation. Oh yeah, that was my least favorite winning animation because it covers the whole screen, so I can't actually see any of the tiles. It's because it used to be much worse. That makes sense. I was gonna say because like if these clients like only had US user bases, it would be like sports betting. Like it would be way worse. Because there's like so little regulation here. But it makes sense that they have high regulation because it was a big problem. And I guess to some extent still is a big problem. Yeah, I guess that makes a lot of sense. I always think of it backwards in my head where I'm like, because they have strong regulations, it must not be as bad. Where it's like, no, they have strong regulations because people needed those regulations. Oh, that's a little worrying. That's Dora 4. 7-9, I think, is my weakest. Yeah. Hmm. Trying to think of the direction I want to go with this hand. 3-4 is good. Probably should have ditched the green earlier. Okay, we're good. We don't deal in. 2-3-4, 7-8 is nice. We could potentially Ipeko on 3-4-5. Oh, this? I'll take that. It's not Pinfu, but it's a double-sided weight with 40 tiles to go. Calling Reach is my favorite thing, because then I just don't even have to pay attention to the game. It'll just go. I guess I might have to pay attention if I draw a 3-so and could call a close con, but... these people keep taking my Reach bets. With their dogshit tiny hands. Alright, we're north. North 5-peen. Go south first. Then west. Then we'll ditch north. Killing everybody's wind. Nobody gets to score their wind. What the fuck? No, nobody was supposed to be able to score their wind. Don't call it. Yeah, gotchas are rough. I basically stopped playing Limbus Company. Not because of the gotcha elements, but because it's just like I'm already playing so many live service games. I don't have that. Oh, I should ditch my 1-peen first. Like, I don't have the energy to keep up with Final Fantasy and Mahjong Soul and Limbus. Limbus is cool. I want to get back to it at some point, but... Oh, goodness. That's certainly something. I can't believe sports gambling is legal again. In the States. Because it's like... It was illegal for so long, because it was really bad. Because people, like, destroyed their lives betting on the ponies. Like... And now we're just cool with it. Now we're just supposed to, you know, worship our Lord and Savior FanDuel. Like, what the fuck? Into south we go. Snooze the ad. Or West. Or as 6-mon. But, like, people forget that, like, fucking just a handful of years ago, sports betting was blanket illegal. And now, like, everybody's talking about their parlays or whatever. Which is an insane thing that you're allowed to bet on. But I mean, it's the housing market all over again, right? It's speculating on futures of bundles of stuff that's not real. Except now, instead of people's mortgages, it's fucking... it's fucking whether Tom Brady throws the sports ball good. Yeah, obviously we all love lobbyists in this country. It's just insane to me that, like, a thing that we all agreed was blanket... I mean, this is just the history, you know, the last 20 years of US history in a nutshell, is like, thing we all agreed was blanket evil is now actually good and sponsored by the government. Right? Sports betting, straight up Nazis, all of it. But, like, come on. There's, like, a whole thing. There is a stereotype of, like, absent fathers who gamble their entire child's college, like, education fund on a sports thing because they have a problem. Right? It's legally mandated that all gambling stuff have, like, a hotline at the bottom because we know that it's so addictive. And they were like, what if we introduced a new form of gambling that was outlawed because it was so predatory? What? How many sumos can you take, my guy? How many sumos can you call? Damn. All right, well, let's take a quick 5. I'm gonna get up, stretch, clear my throat a little bit, then grab a snack. We'll play a few more. So I'll be right back, and we can continue to ramble about sports betting, maybe. I'll see y'all in a moment. I'm gonna run the ad during the break. Grab a drink, grab a snack, whatever you need. Folks, you'll never believe how perfect my timing is. I sat down in my chair at 5 seconds left on that timer. That was incredible. I've never been that on time in my life. Welcome back from the break. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. More matches, baby! I got plans for today. I have 223. I'm gonna make pie. Just an easy pumpkin pie. Got a can of filling. I'm gonna run to the store and get some evaporated milk. Got a couple eggs. Got a graham cracker crust. Just gonna make that shit happen. I got a box of stuffing I'm gonna make. As you might be able to tell, I've run out of leftovers. So I'm just making them again. I got some apples I want to cook down and do like a little cinnamon apple situation to have on oatmeal. So I might do that today if I'm feeling up to it. Potentially Peiko on 1, 2, 3. Let's see, I got a box of stuffing, I got the pie, I got the potential apples. I'm excited. I love this time of year. All my favorite foods happen at this time of year. So we're in a good way. And my my in-laws, we snagged a turkey that my in-laws are gonna cook at some point. Didn't end up doing it on the day of Thanksgiving just because there was too much going on. But so at some point I'm gonna have turkey. I got cranberry sauce. I love cranberry sauce. That's basically the reason for the season. Fuck it. We're going toy mode. We're going toy mode. It's toy time, baby. Could I have not called Khan and kept a concealed triple? Maybe, but it's Dora. With the chance to get more Dora? I think so. Thank you very much. More Dora? None for me. Thank you, I'm full. Yummy yummy in my tummy 6 Han. Tasty little Hanemon to start off the match. Red is Dora. Probably ditch green next, just to kill it. No. Yeah, okay, now green's dead. We could hold it as a safe discard if we wanted, though. Potentially pick on 5, 6, 7. This 3 dragons isn't in the picture. Now there's only 1 dragon left in the picture. It is Dora, though, so it's a little scary. 3, 4 I like. Stitch the 8. I'd rather have a 3, 4 than a 6, 8. Got Tanya. This is a pretty tasty hand coming together pretty quickly. If I pick up a 7, if I pick up something for the 3, 4, I wait on the 7. This could be something. This is certainly more than nothing. This could be a situ freakination. Alright. No Pinfu, but chance for Ipeco. About on pace. Aka 1. Not too shabby. But yeah, I'm hoping I can get my hands on Dirtbag Mahjong relatively soon, so I can start looking at the missions and stuff and see about how we would integrate Archipelago stuff. Because I've been obsessed with Archipelago. Basically since I found out about it, but particularly recently. So, I would be really excited to get to put something together for that. Damn it. Oh well. It's not worst in the world. We have to advance the deal at some point if we want to win. Doris 3 Peen. I guess you don't have to. It might bust. But yeah, because all the different chapters have like missions, and a lot of the early ones are just like don't bust, which is obviously relatively easy, even without the like special powers they give you. So I'd want to look through and see if there's a way to change what the mission requirements are, to potentially introduce a like a hard mode. So if you wanted to play with harder missions, you could do that. Because for someone more versed in Mahjong, some of the missions are relatively easy. Especially if you're going through on a, you know, third or fourth playthrough where you have randomized stuff, so you're more familiar with the matches and stuff. And so obviously the different powers would be locked behind, they would be randomized, so you'd have to get unlocks for that. And so we've been, in the Discord, we've been talking about structuring that. But I really need to, like, get my hands on the damn thing to be able to start working out how to integrate with it, and different ways we could tweak it to work better with AP. In the long run, I'm wondering if it would be possible to mod in sort of like an additional campaign or something like that that's got some of the stuff that we've been brainstorming before it came out for a generic Mahjong integration. Like custom bosses and stuff that you'd have to play against. But in the short term, I'd love to just get it working with the basic campaign mode. I like 1, 2, 3. This 5 is a little out of place. Everything else is pretty tight. I'd love something to turn this into a sequence, because I've got my pair 9 here. Well, if I pick up a 6, then I could do triple 9 and pair 7. That'd be fun. Yeah, the folks in the Archipelago Discord are cool. I've been participating in the big async recently, and that's been really fun. I'm down to my last slot though. I've gold 3 of them, and I'm only a few power cells away from likely being able to goal my last slot. My ooh, hello, starting triplet Yaku Haidora. I've just got Jack and Daxter left. I gold my Aquaria, Stardew, and Ocarina of Time. So I might pick up another slot, but I'm not super sure what I would take. Because, like, there aren't any more Jack slots. Stardew already is a hell and a half trying to start on a slot that's been dropped by somebody else, because you have to start from scratch. Aquaria, there's more slots, but, like, Aquaria is kind of a long haul. And it was my first time beating the game, doing it with AP. And then Ocarina of Time, there aren't any available slots, just because those get snatched up super fast. But, I mean, I think like 25% of the worlds have gold already, and we've gotten 50% of the checks. Dora, please. Ah. I mean, I'll take 1 extra Dora for the con, but... much rather have my 8-tile wait, thank you very much. Yay! Another Dora for me. I did see a message in the Matsuki Discord recently. Apparently people have been like, it's not sandbagging. I don't know what it's called. Basically, getting their friends to throw matches to increase their rank. And so they're taking action against that. I haven't, like, seen that. But they said that they're suspending people for it. I expect that's probably not the cause of my taking forever to get into a match, but here's hoping it makes it easier. I don't know. I enjoy Amatsuki. It's pretty streamlined. The client has some issues, but it's not bad. It's just sometimes it hangs or takes a while to load certain stuff. Thank you. I'm excited to score my 5 Dora, please. All last. We're south. Dora's 5. North first. Probably south next. We could ditch this 9, but with the 6 pair 7, we'll ditch east. But yeah, I've been enjoying Mahjong recently. It's been nice. I'm excited to get to play more on Mahjong Monday. Because I haven't gotten to recently. Apparently I just got a notification on Twitch from literally 3 weeks ago. It was like, hey, pay attention. This is happening. And it's like, you sent me this 3 weeks ago. Why are you giving me a notification about it now? Twitch. Just a functional platform. I'm also gonna make spaghetti. I've been thawing some turkey. Some ground turkey so I can do turkey spaghetti. I might try and pick up some veg at the store. Since I'm going out to get stuff for pie anyway. Might get some gailan. So I can toss the leaves in the spaghetti. Give it a little bit of green. I mean, I might just do spinach, but gailan's my favorite. So. And then I can blanch the stems or something and just snack on those. Either way, I know my local Asian market has good prices on both gailan and spinach. I think recently their gailan was on sale, so they'll probably have a fresh crop in soonish. Even when it's not on sale, it's a good price. So. I don't know. I think my plan is to go to the regular grocery store, but I might swing by the Asian market if I'm not in that neck of the woods. I want a cooking. I know most people after Thanksgiving want nothing to do with cooking, but I didn't cook anything for Thanksgiving. I just got leftovers, so I'm just getting started. Alright, we're gonna just try and get on Tenpai while discarding relatively defensively. I don't think we're gonna hit Tenpai, but just try not to deal in. Somebody else might. I mean, even if we have to pay out to exhaustive draw, we're looking okay. We're pretty far in first. I think we'll manage. The only thing is if we have to pay in here, if they're in Tenpai, we could have a problem. That's fine. You can call. Because then we'll have to repeat the deal if Kamicha's in Tenpai. They are. That's expected. That's fine. Let's try and get a quick hand together. Starting with pair red, off to a good start. 3 so is Dora. I keep wanting to use the Sichuan names. Playing too much Sichuan. Or trying to, when I can get into a match. White next. This 2 is lonely. This 1-2 is not great. This 3 is lonely. Just any hand. Will get us the win. Yeah, I'm excited to see what we do in December, and then January is my streamer anniversary as well as my birthday. So might try and do something special for that. Hang out with some friends. One thing, like I'm very grateful to have been able to be part of the Pokemon for Palestine collab for a lot of reasons. But one of the things that I really have enjoyed is getting to collab with more cool people. It's just been a blast to get to hang out with more folks on stream. I want to do more collab streams and be part of other people's stuff and have other people be part of my stuff. Just feels very cool when I get to be present with other cool people and collab on stuff, even if our styles are a little different. Like the Soul Link was so much fun. Getting to do that with Poppy was so much fun. The archipelagos were fun as well, although they were scuffed and chaotic. Speaking of the Soul Link and archipelagos, the VODs, as of now, should all have hit YouTube. I rendered them and scheduled them last night, so I believe they all hit today, at like 1. So it should be should be up. I'm gonna try and keep on top of VODs more, especially going forward into the new static era. I'm gonna try and get those rendered and uploaded quickly. Oh my goodness. This match is never gonna end. Oh, they busted. That's fine. Okay, it does end. Yeah, Toyman busted. Ugh. Kamicha bust Toyman. But, yeah, because I want to get, I want to get the raid VODs up shortly so that other people can watch them and have those timestamped by poll, like I was doing last time. So I want to try and be on top of VODs, especially with the Chrono Trigger VODs. I have friends that are big Chrono Trigger fans that want to watch me play it but can't make my stream time. So I want to make sure that I have those up in a timely fashion so that they can be caught up by the time I post my next stream one. In case they can make one. So that's a priority for me, and I want to try and stay on top of it because I was on top of it for a good while until like the just chaos around the holidays hit, and stuff with my health and having specialist appointments. I just got behind, so I should be caught up on VOD postings as of now. Before I run out to do errands, I'll probably get this VOD rendering so I can upload it so that it'll be up, live tomorrow. Because I liked the system I had where VODs would go live the day after they were streamed. I think one of the things was in streams where it's less... I should have ditched the 8 instead, because the 2, 3, 4 could have been something. But in VODs where it's less structured, which are usually collab VODs where I'm not taking breaks at the same times and my breaks aren't the same length, it's harder for me to cut those out as quickly and automatically. Because when I have the little timer up during my break screen, I just skip to the end and I can see the timer duration, so it's easier for me to find the end of the break. As opposed to when I'm doing a collab, it's just messy. So it takes a little bit more effort to look through it. But I'm hoping that I can keep up to date with those, because I like getting my VODs posted in a timely fashion. It feels good to have them done and ready and on their way. Makes me feel very productive. So my hope is that I can get back in that habit. Because I am a serial VOD sicko. I'm a big fan of watching fucking tons of VODs in a row. I love them as second monitor content. So I don't know if there are any VOD sickos for me, but I am a VOD sicko for other people. I love watching VODs in my spare time. So having those up in a timely fashion is something I want to prioritize. Yakuhai, but almost certainly also Toy Toy from Shimacha. What do we have from Kamicha? Probably shouldn't have called Reach there, given how few tiles we have left, but... yeah, discard control probably would have been a better thing to prioritize, but didn't end up mattering. East 2, we are south. Dora is white. One of the weird things about Dirtbag Mahjong, at least the demo, is that because they have the little like corner markings, right? Which I appreciate. I like that. Is all the dragons have a D corner marking instead of RGW, which maybe that's standard in some places, and you know this is the odd one out. But like, it just throws me at a glance. Yeah, I mean this is the clear choice. Super early reach, Aka 1. Potential for Khan on 18. But yeah, it threw me. Because, like, I get that it's, like, important to mark them as dragons, because there are abilities that trigger off of dragons specifically as a group. But, like, with the wins, they have them marked with the individual kind of wins. I guess because, like, the dragons, it's apparent because it's color-based. Whereas the wins, it's not, because they're characters. But, like, come on. Just put RGW. Or even leave the White Dragon blank. If you don't want it to be confused with West Wind. Or yeah, WH is what they have here. I do like the font in Dirtbag Mahjong. It's good. It's like a nice little scrawl style, like custom pixel scrawl font. And then they have the option to turn it, to exchange it for like an easy read. I was having issues with changing resolution in the demo. I'm assuming that's probably fixed in the official release because I haven't seen anybody talking about it, but the demo did not want to go 1080p full screen for me. I ended up running it 720p windowed, and the font was quite small, which was frustrating. But I think it's the same demo from like Steam Next Fest or whatever, so it's not indicative of the final release in terms of like bugs and stuff, I think. But it seems fun. I like the powers. I like that you have like a charge up power essentially, and then an ult. So you have a power that does a small thing and builds up your mana, and then you have a power that uses a bunch of mana and gets you big results. So you're encouraged to use your little power even when it's kind of detrimental to you, because it lets you use your big power. Although some of the powers are weird. There's one that like scrambles the discards around, which could be interesting because it can put someone in footy 10, but it's random, so like you can't intentionally do that. See if we can get 3 concealed triples. And like there are other powers that function off of discard, so like you can deal damage to someone based on how many dragons are in their discard, for example. How many unique dragons are in their discard, and then like take stuff from other people's discard and like deal damage to them based on that kind of stuff. But like it feels very situational, that power specifically, which is a shame because I like that character the most. But I don't know, maybe it's different in the final release. Maybe they've tweaked it. We will have to see. I just gotta find $9 to buy that. so I can start doing some research. Because right now my research is based on the demo, and that's no good. Yeah, I figure probably the best way to gate the power usage would just be to set the mana cost of each one to a high number. As opposed to, like, physically locking it out in some way. But the small power, the, like, build-up power doesn't usually have a mana cost, so... Because the idea is you would have to get sent a progressive power that would unlock first the character's story, and then the first power, and then the second power. And those would have to be sent to you through the multi-world, or unlocked locally. So figuring out how to integrate that would be interesting. But there's some avenues to explore there. I just want another way to play Mahjong. And if I can do it through Archipelago, that means I can play Mahjong with my friends, even if my friends are not playing Mahjong. Which is like, that's the ultimate dream, hey? Is making my friends play Mahjong with me by getting to play Mahjong in a way that interacts with my friends. So that'll be interesting. I'm excited to play Dirtbag. I'll probably do it off stream, just because I want to play standard Mahjong for Mahjong Monday. I know I did what's it called? Atenjo for a few Mahjong Mondays, but like I like the ranked matches too much. I don't want to sacrifice this as a stream for the sake of doing another thing. Damn it. Well, that sucks. That's gonna be hard to recover from in one round. Here we go. Double Ricci 13 Orphans. This is where it comes in clutch. Pair East is not bad. It's not Double Ricci 13 Orphans, but it's not bad. It's 9 next, and then we'll start going for dragons. Well, green is dead, actually. Now not, and then white. Well, red, then white. Yeah, initially I was looking into integrating the discard efficiency, or the tile efficiency trainer that's on Itch.io, integrating that as a hint client for Archipelago, so I could do that when I was BK'd. But that has evaded me. And then Dirtbag came out, and it's like, well, I'd rather focus on this. Because if I get integrated as a game, then I can play even more Mahjong. And I already have a lot of ideas for, like, options and ways you could customize it and that kind of stuff, so I'm more excited about integrating Dirtbag into AP than I am about the hint client. This is just a clawback at any points. It's... Never mind, fuck me. We bust, I guess. Alright, I think I got one more match in me, and then I gotta go run errands. Goodbye, rank points. Goodbye, Mario. Oh, I meant to hit one more match. Now I gotta go back to me. But yeah, I wanna see if we can get Dirtbag up and running, because there are so many cool games in Archipelago, and I'm still even learning about more of them. So I would love to be involved with that. Like, I just started playing Koru.observer, which apparently some of my friends hold very near. Their character's gone! They're a ghost! Oh god! But like, yeah, I just started playing Koru.observer vanilla because I saw that somebody is working on an Archipelago integration for it that I think is playable. And I read the description of the game and I was like, this sounds cool as hell. So I've been playing that, which is neat. It's like a web fiction point and click. Very strange. Like sci-fi, multi-genre thing. Where you're sifting through the files, basically, of an alien creature. In 2050 or something, after, like, well after First Contact. So it's cool. It's got some like old media vibes, some like early digital media type stuff, and some like weird metafiction things going on. I'm only in like I think I've like just started Act 3, but it's really cool. I don't know if it's the kind of game that I would want to play in an archipelago, but there are so many like weird niche little games that people are developing for Archipelago, so like that's where I'm learning about them. It's a browser game too, so it's not hard to get set up. But yeah, definitely check out Koru.observer if you're curious about it. CORRU.observer. It's a neat little game. Neat little piece of fiction. It kind of reminds me of, in a weird oblique way, it kind of reminds me of 17776. The idea of like telling a fiction through this sort of like web page based, like, it's not quite a web comic. It transcends the boundaries of what is a web comic. Oh my god. I cannot catch a break today, can I? Ignore the match that I finished first in. Alright, we're north. Dara's 6-0. Just the one here. Kind of like this hand, so I don't really want to... Okay, cool. Not given the opportunity anyway. But yeah, it's like it doesn't quite fit in what I would define as a webcomic. In a similar way to, and I never read Homestuck. I tried and I kind of bounced off it. But like in a similar way to, I think the way that a lot of people think that Homestuck isn't quite a webcomic. Like it could be described as one, but it kind of it doesn't fit neatly in that box. And I think Koru.observer is similar. Like it is gamified and but it's all browsing HTML pages, right? But it's really neat. I've been having a lot of fun just poking around in it. And it does have some stuff that like aesthetically reminds me some of Homestuck, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were partially inspired by that. But again, I never read the damn thing, so I can only notice superficial similarities. This is a safe from Homestuck space. Friends don't let friends read Homestuck, etc., etc. Why did I do that? This 5 is not helpful. I already discarded a 5p. Yeah, so I'm gonna dig through the Archipelago archives to play some more games. I should go back and play older games like Link's Adventure and Link to the Past and stuff like that. Older Zelda games that I never really played. Because those games have Archipelago integration because they're quite popular. And those I've just never played, so when those come up in the async, I never get a chance to play them because I haven't played them vanilla. So maybe I'll do that on way back at some point. I have to get my hands on physical copies, and I don't actually know what LADX is for Link to the Past. Those are probably for handhelds, which are going to be harder to set up with capture. Unfortunately. Oh, I can't do this because I have to break it. Yeah, we'll call reach. I need the points. I know there's not a lot of tiles left for us to score on, but I gambled and I lost. East 3. We are west. Dora is 6-0. This is a hand. It's the 9 on the way. There's the east first. But yeah, I want to play more weird little games. Especially if it means that I can play them in archipelagos down the line. Like, two of the ones that are vastly underclaimed on the big async right now are Faxanadu and Landstalker, which are like old school games. So those I kind of want to play, so I could potentially claim them down the line. But those are going to be harder to set up to play on original hardware for sure, because I don't think I have their original hardware. And then if you claim stuff in big async, you have to like have a copy, right? Because of the whole hullabaloo with legally owning ROMs and all that stuff. And getting my hands on a physical copy would be a nightmare. I'm sure they're on eBay for like $8 trillion. How much does a Landstalker eBay? It's for the Genesis. Yeah, between 25 and like hundreds of dollars for people who are scalping. I don't know if it can be called scalping if it's like a game for the Genesis, but people who are price gouging. Probably could have ditched the 9 there, just in case I picked up another South. So it's probably one of those things I'll only try out if I luck into a copy at a thrift store or something. I could have gone for Toy Toy. I called that north. That might have been smarter. But this hand early Toy Toy is not unthinkable. We're almost certainly going to go into South, so... if I kept that red, well, I wouldn't have drawn the red. That's how the deal order works, but... okay. Different people, that's fine. Just didn't want them both going to the same place. Ditch the norths. So we're swimming in pairs right now. Plus it'll get us Tanyo. These 7s aren't great because of the 7 in the indicator. Oh, I totally misread Toyman's score. You're totally right. I saw these upside down 2s and went, oh yeah, they have 2300. Which would not make sense because then everybody would be below the starting score. Need 3,300. Aka 2, yeah, we could hit 3,300 to pull into second. Reach Aka 2. Anya, thank you. There we go. And we take it from second. So we're at least in second place.